Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and I don't know where to start because this is a video I've been wanting to do for a while since I saw The Flash. But since James Gunn's new DCEU is about to begin, I want to talk about what the DCEU would have looked like after the Flash movie, before the whole reshoots have happened and before James Gunn took over, because I think that I think that's interesting to know because of all the stuff that is happening, and just by the because there was apparently 2 deleted endings and two post-credit scenes that totally got rid of. So we'll go through the endings. The endings now. Maybe I'll tip around this just a little bit. So originally Affleck did not want to return back as Batman. WB greenlit. Well, if The Flash did well, they were like, if The Flash does well, we'll do a Batman Beyond movie starring Michael Keaton. And that was rumors at the time. But then, so The Flash was in production and all that. Ben Affleck came out and was like, look, this is going to be my last movie as Batman. I don't want to be Batman anymore. That's that. So then it got confirmed that Michael Keaton would be the DCEU's Batman, which, knowing me, got me very excited because I love Keaton. I love Keaton's Batman. They were doing some reshoots on depending on what route they should go. Because the first original ending that they did was, and we even got photos of this. We got photos, that's the thing. We knew that they shot them because we got set photos of this because people were leaking them out. We got Keaton showing up, and this was the whole scene at the end of, except for George Clooney showing up, we see Barry in front of the courthouse, but instead of George Clooney, we see Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, and we also see Sasha Calle as Supergirl. That scene was that was its first ending. This was around the time, or maybe... Yeah, maybe this was around the time that they were, that The Rock was doing his whole, hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. So, when they filmed that, Black Adam came out in 2022, and we saw the scene between Black Adam, we saw the post-credit scene, and he brought back Henry Cavill, Superman. We all freaked out. We were like, yes. And then they shot a different ending of The Flash because Cavill even came out like a week or so after Black Adam came out, going like, look guys, I'm happy to report now. I just wanted to give you guys a chance to see Black Adam, but to make it public, I just want to let you know that I'm back. And this was before James Gunn took over. So, they shot another ending for The Flash, but it was basically the same exact scene, Michael Keaton, Supergirl, but with the only difference was the scene included Cavill Superman and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. Those were the only 2 differences, and that was going to be our Justice League. So, we got the main trio, the DC Trinity, but with a different Batman, and we get our new Supergirl, because she was going to stick around, because it was reported before the Flash movie that she was going to get a movie, so she was going to stick around, and of course Flash was going to stick around. This was before the whole Ezra Miller trouble. So then, sure enough, the Ezra Miller stuff happened, and James Gunn came in, was like, oh, we're not keeping Cavill, we're not keeping anything with this old universe, let's scrap that ending, let's reshoot the ending, and let's make Barry go into the Schumacher universe and George Clooney's there. Because by doing that, we know that the DCEU's dead. And the Flash character, that version of the Flash character is dead. Because that technically is a dead universe. I will make another video saying, is the Keaton Batman, is the Burton films and the Schumacher films canon to the Flash? That's a whole nother video. But, no, so those were the original endings. Were those two. We got, first option was Keaton Batman and Supergirl. Our second one before Gunn came in was Keaton Batman, Supergirl, Cavill's Superman, and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. Those were our two endings. And then the credit scenes, this is where it gets really interesting for me. The post-credit scenes was apparently Batfleck in the Nightmare world trying to send a message to Barry to tell him that he's in the Nightmare world and to set up a future Crisis movie. That would have been bonkers. Like, because the one post-credit scene in The Flash was absolutely a shit show because it was just The Flash talking to Aquaman and he's drunk and whatever. Like, that was a terrible scene. But that would have been interesting. Like, that would have actually given us hope. Yeah. You Star Wars fans out there know what I mean. That actually would have given us hope for the DCEU. So, I honestly think that there could have been so much more you could do. You could have easily recast Batman. Just, they were doing what James Gunn was already trying to do. Kind of soft reboot. We're going to recast some people. Like, I bet you if the DCU was sticking around longer, they would have recast Amber Heard. Because of that whole thing of her and Johnny Depp going down. They would have recast Batman because Affleck didn't want to do it anymore. They would have done a whole shake-up with their universe. But because Gunn came in and was like, oh no, let's not do that, let's scrap it all. That is what made it furious. Because the other post-credit scene after that was going to be kind of similar to the one that we got, but more like Barry talking to Aquaman about the different worlds and everything and how different they are and some things are the same and all that. Kind of like, he'll basically be explaining the whole spaghetti situation that Keaton told him earlier of how the straight lines are the same as your universe, but the wiggly lines are the stuff that's different. So, but Aquaman gets confused because then Supergirl shows up with Cavill as Superman. So, any of those endings, honestly, my favourite ending out of like the actual endings to the movie is the Keaton Bruce Wayne, Supergirl, Cavill Superman, and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman scene. And if you kept that in the two post-credit scenes, that would have been great. Because Crisis on Infinite, if no one knows this, basically imagine what the cameo scene in The Flash was, but times 1 billion. Like, you could have easily brought in all your different properties from all your different DC movies and TV shows. You could have brought your heroes from the Arrowverse. You could have brought characters from your Christopher Reeve Superman, from your Linda Carter Wonder Woman, from your Adam West Batman. I don't know how you would have done that. I think the Crisis on Infinite Earths 5-episode or 4-episode event was the best you could do with the 66 universe. But, like, you could collide Keaton's universe into the DCU. Like, you should have done that. You would have beaten Marvel to Secret Wars. Like, Secret Wars is one of my most anticipated movies of the next few years. But Crisis on Infinite Earths would have been something so special because it's cool seeing it in the comics, but in the movies it's even more special because you wouldn't imagine seeing A-list actors or even like, because for a lot of people that grew up with the movies, the DC movies in general, wouldn't have expected to see what they saw on the big screen or even the small screen on the VHSs or the DVDs or the Blu-rays. Seeing all their favourite versions of these portrayals of these characters on the big screen and how different they all are and stuff, right? Because, like, you have, like, imagine seeing, like, Keaton's Batman with, Ben Affleck's, with George Clooney's, with Bale's, with, Val Kilmer, with, even if you did, like, a, almost like what they did with, Rise of Skywalker, where that whole scene where you see the flashback of Luke and Leia training, of Luke training Leia with the lightsabers, and they didn't have that scene because they never shot a scene like that because that wasn't originally the intent. They used Carrie Fisher's daughter and then did the change the face. If you did that for an Adam West or a Christopher Reeve, that would have been amazing. Like, the potential, like, I'm excited for James Gunn's DCEU. Like, I'm excited for Superman. It's my most anticipated movie of the year. But I am one of those fans. I'm a fan of DC because of the DCEU. I don't want to be known as one of those people that's like, oh my god, it's a Snyder fanboy and blah blah blah. Because I haven't really seen any of the guys' work except for the DCEU stuff. But I think that there was a lot of potential within those movies to get in a universe that would have been fantastic. And I honestly think that, because you gotta remember too, that Cavill was going to come back as Superman. He was going to get Man of Steel 2. Gal Gadot was definitely going to get Wonder Woman 3, but they were still trying to figure that out because Patty Jenkins wrote Wonder Woman 84 and they were like, yeah, no, we don't want 84 situation, so you can... So I had a feeling that they would got her back, but they would want her to direct it, not write it. And, like, obviously everyone was stuck around, like, I mean, I don't know about Ray Fisher, because originally he was meant to have a role in the Flash movie, but that got thrown away pretty damn quickly because of all the stuff because he's very vocal about what happened with the theatrical cut of Justice League and Joss Whedon and that whole stuff going down. But I honestly think that there is some interesting stuff that you could have done, but because Gunn came in, because you had the whole shake up with DC with James Gunn coming in, and also the fans weren't liking the DCU by that point, even though they were kind of like, oh, you know what, there's actually light at the end of the tunnel. Because I do want to make another video. I've been saying this in every video I make, but I do want to make a video of, are Marvel fans turning into DC and Star Wars fans? But I honestly think that after the Suicide Squad and Zack Snyder's Justice League, there's been this, not DC as the whole, because the Batman is still part of DC and stuff like that, but the DCEU stuff, like the Ben Affleck Cavill stuff, that has kind of slowly been crashing and burning with the audiences because the audiences didn't give a crap about what was going on with the universe as a whole. Because The Flash was meant to come out before Shazam. And Shazam, that would have explained why they were in different suits during Fury of the Gods and why they didn't have the suits like they did in the first one. Because The Flash was meant to take place before the Shazam Fury of the Gods. And so, because it's a different universe with Because no matter what one it would have been the Keaton's Batman universe. But, like, because it's Keaton and Supergirl, whether if you had the Wonder Woman and Superman stuff in it or not, that would have been stuck to their rules. Where you have every single universe, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and all that are the same, but a Batman and Superman are different. Because the thing is too, you gotta remember, reports came out saying that they cut down Cavill and Gal's role within the Flash. We got a little, like, not a great, I mean, it was cool seeing it, but it was a little TV CG shot of Cavill Superman saving people at the volcano. We saw Godot's Wonder Woman in the Flash saving Affleck's Batman during that opening chase, which was the more oh my god one because we actually saw her as opposed to a CG Superman. But no, I think that there was a lot of potential for this universe. And I think that a lot of these got swept under the rug because everyone was like, yeah, sorry, but we don't care anymore. So I think that that's just one of those things where it's like, you're looking and you're just like, you see, if you guys didn't win as much, we probably would have gone the Batgirl movie, which apparently was unreleasable, and you got things like Catwoman. Like, that crap is unreleasable. Batman Robin, unreleasable. Justice League, unreleasable. And, like, I like the first Suicide Squad. A lot of people that don't like the first Suicide Squad, unreleasable. What the hell do you mean that that Batgirl is unreleasable when you had a bunch of movies that were crap that have been released? Like, what the hell? Like, it's just kind of silly, because I like Man of Steel. I don't love Man of Steel, but I like it. I like BVS even more, and I love Zack Snyder's Justice League, because I just rewatched it because I was doing a Batman ranking, and I bloody loved it. And so, like, seeing what Zack Snyder had, and yeah, he wouldn't have been, he probably wouldn't have been making more, because WB was like, oh, we'll get your Car Justice League done to get subscriptions on HBO Max, but you're not coming back for any more. So he didn't, but at least we would have got his original castings, except for Affleck. And because I love that universe, and I would even get a comic, like if they made their DCEU as a comic, like the Snyderverse as a comic, or Zack Snyder's Justice League as a comic or something, I would be hell buying that. But yeah, I just thought I would come on here and talk about the fact that there are a lot of things within the DCU that were cut out of the Flash that weren't used. Because James Gunn came in and was like, no, I'm running DC, we're restarting. So, but yeah, so guys, that's all. Please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, also hit the little bell icon to get notified of future videos that I'll make. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.